Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Only PAX. In today's video we've got quite a lot to do, but I want to start off by just addressing a couple of comments from the last video. But first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who did take the time to comment. I do really appreciate all of your feedback and ideas. Now the first thing while we're following this train uphill I wanted to mention was a comment by Rob, and it was when I mentioned in the last episode that with these passenger carriages, I was unaware of why there was a difference between the front and rear brakes and whether that had any effect on the trains at all. And Rob's very kindly commented saying that it is all that is the position of the brake within the carriage, and it has no effect at all on the operation. So thank you for that, Rob. That's always good to have a bit more information and know what we're talking about. Now, the second thing I wanted to have a look at, and you may have already noticed, is down here I've actually added a new mod, which is the timetable mod. And this actually comes from a comment from Miles. And we were having the problem where a lot of our vehicles were sort of bunching up too close together, mainly on the bus routes at the minute. Because we only have the two train lines with one train on each at the moment, it isn't an issue. But I know that it will be later on from previous playthroughs. So what I want to do is have a look at this mod. Now I've had a quick 5-minute play around with it, and I think I've got to grips with it. Now you'll see this clock down the bottom. What you can do is if we click on the timetable here, and this line here, for example, the Gorleston bus, we go into the timetable mod and we click on the Gorleston bus line here. There's a number of options, and we select the line to activate this program, if you like, or this script that's going to be working in the background, and then we can choose our stop. So this one down by the train station is Highfield Road, and very basically at the moment all I want to do is space out these vehicles. So all I want to do is I don't want a minimum wait time or a maximum wait time. I want to go over to the side here where the timetable is, and I don't even want to set an arrival and departure time. What I want to do is unbunch them. Now there is this auto unbunch feature which picks a time, and I'm not sure where it gets this time from. And you'll see that the settings that we change in here do come onto the timetable here. But what I want to do for now is to just try and figure out how this program works. I'm going to set it to unbunch, and I'm going to set this for a 3-minute interval. So what that should mean is that every time a vehicle comes down here, it'll stop here for 3 minutes before going off again. So let's just see what kind of effect that has and whether it seems like it might be too much. I'm hoping that will then keep a 3-minute gap between every vehicle all the way around, just by having the one wait here. So we can see now he could be leaving, and there's actually a lot of passengers, 62 passengers here. So we may actually have to look at putting a bigger passenger terminal in here. I'll tell you what, whilst we're here, let's have a look at that now. We need something that can hold a few more. I think we're going to go for another one of these loop stops here, actually, as long as that'll fit. We go for the longest we can, terminal length, if we go for 40 metres. Centre line, connection street. I think we'll actually keep that as is. We'll just go for that length and 40. Oh, I've pressed something there and I didn't mean to. There we go. So if we change that around and we can line it up quite square on with the road. Do we want it that side? It just seems maybe a little bit too far away. If I pause this, because we're going to cause chaos here, I delete that stop on that piece of road and then I plonk this directly in. That seems much better there. And then hopefully that will pick up the stop name. It has. The line knows what it's doing. Perfect. And then hopefully that has also carried over from here. It looks like it may have done. But fast forward this now. Everybody's crossing the road. Perfect. They'll wait here. And it now has a much higher capacity by the look of it. Ah, no, perfect. You see these two are coming round now right behind each other. This is what we're trying to avoid. And a third one here. Now this is from when we just upgrade the line. And you can see he's gone pretty quickly because there was no one 3 minutes in front. I believe that's how this is working, but this guy's now having to wait. And eventually he'll depart. Is that too much of a gap? He's just got to the next stop now, and he still isn't going. So maybe we can turn that down a little bit. This is the kind of sort of trial and error we need to be doing. So if I turn that down to 2 minutes, unbunch. It hasn't actually got the stop on now. Why is that line not appearing? That's confused me now. So we go to Gorleston. Ah, the Gorleston bus. There we go. Had I clicked on it? I think I might have clicked on a different one then. So Gorleston is going to be waiting for 2 minutes now. So if we look again now, once this guy leaves the station, if I just fast forward, it will just have reset the 2 minutes for this guy. So we'll have to just wait until this guy leaves the station now, and then see how bad the delay is before the next one. I'm sort of looking at when this first bus arrives at the next stop there, I'd like this one to just be leaving the station. So we'll see when that 2 minute interval kicks in. Now you can see the clock down here. 2 minutes may even be too much for this one, but he's just arriving now. He's left that stop, as you can see at the top corner here. And yes, so again, we're still too long here. So we'll turn that down to 1 minute. And then we'll try again. So we'll keep an eye on this guy here and just see when it is that he turns the corner. Hopefully by the time he gets up to there, just as he's approaching or as he's at that stop, we want this one to be releasing. There we go, that's perfect. He's just arrived and he's just left. So hopefully now that'll give us that same distance between each stop. And then if that does mean that we need to add more vehicles in, then that's fine. But then what we may have to do is reduce that bunch time. And we may even then need to look at the auto bunch feature. And I don't think at the minute, maybe we need to do the same up in Strood, but they look quite well spaced out at Strood here for the minute. So I'm happy with that. So thanks a lot for that, Miles. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that. And I think that'll start to play even more of an even bigger part once we get more trains involved. Now, another comment that I wanted to give some notice to was one by Amin, and he's basically said that he doesn't want to see just trains going everywhere with their own little bus route in each city, and I fully get that. The whole idea of this series is to be moving passengers in a variety of different ways. And with that being said, in this episode, what I want to get up to is to connect these 3 towns here, Saltash, Burton-upon-Trent and New Biggin-by-the-Sea, with a tram line or an intercity bus line. I'm going to have a look between the different trams and buses that we have available at the minute. And I'm thinking long term, I want these 3 to be linked up as an intercity bus or tram route. And then eventually, the airfield for this side of the map will be down at this end where we've got the nice flat terrain. Now that makes sense to me. And then we'll find a location up at the other end of the map for the other airfield. But it just seems good to me that we could have that connection through an airport here with an intercity route, and then maybe even utilise a boat route up the river to pick up Rochdale, Shepton, probably stop at Gorleston for that train link, and go from there. But to start with, this is what I want to do in this episode and get these 3 linked up. So I do want to just have a quick look up. We should already have depots around, shouldn't we? I want to see what buses we have available at the minute. So we do have these Martinis, which look pretty cool. I just realised that I haven't unpaused the time yet. We were keeping that running at 2 times before. What I did in between episodes, guys, is I let the time run on a little bit with the date pause just to pay back some of the loan. And we can pay back another load now as well. I just initially tried to get us under that 10 million mark so that we had enough money to play with in this episode. So you can see here, in the last episode we used the Orions. And we've now got the Martinis, so we've got that option there. And then in terms of electric trams, we used those in Bridlington, didn't we? Let's have a look at what trams we got. So we have got the Wine-Type G that we've used in the Only Tram series, and also the CE22s, which are the staple of that series. So they would be a great sort of cross-country tram, I think, these CE22s. So that's definitely something that is worth looking at. Or maybe we even have a mixed con system. We have an interchange in Burton where we have a road system coming in one way and tram the other. I think I like the idea of that, actually. Having a tram coming over the bridge from Saltash and a bus route down from New Biggin-by-the-Sea. And then we'll have the passenger terminal sort of just outside Burton here, so we're ready for when we later on get the airfield in. Yeah, I think whilst I'm talking, I've convinced myself that that's what we're going to do. So if we want to go country road to start with, and I'm going to update to medium just to future-proof this, and we're going to go electric. It might be better, we've just got an autosave, actually, for me to put the passenger depot in first. So if we go for the buy era, we want electric. Do we want lamps and cargo? We don't want lamps, no. Platforms, 2 platforms is fine for now, actually. Platform length, I think we'll go for 20, or do we go for 30 just so we're set for future? No, I think we'll go for 20 for now. We do want an entrance. We want to entrance onto this road, and I think just where the road sort of naturally curves out this direction, like so, we'll do. I think if we go on to the end of here, that gives us plenty of scope for upgrading this road. We're far enough away from the road to be able to upgrade it with electric. Like so. And then we're going to want... I'm not actually a fan of these sharp curves either side of the bridge. Now that's something that the game itself's put in naturally, so I am going to get rid of that, and we'll connect into there ourselves. I think this one I'll leave and we'll connect in with a new road, I think, over here, actually. Does that work? Yeah, that works. We do just need some more money because I've been paying back the loan, though, so we'll get some cash out of there. We'll come fairly straight just off the edge there with a little bit of a bending to get us heading in the right direction. And then we'll head to here, and then we're going to want Medium Street. I think I am actually going to upgrade Medium Street from this junction. We don't actually need... Yes, we will need tram track, actually, thinking about it on the way for the way back. And then I want Medium Street through here. And do we need to go all the way around Saltash? You know what? I think we will. I'm going to say no tram track actually down the middle there. And we'll go around the outside of the town here. Oh, sorry, through the heart of the town even. A stop here should pick up all of that, but we will just check. We want passenger bus stops. Go with these larger ones for the centre of town here. That's picking up that side of town there. That works great for me. And then we want one down at the bottom end here. Probably one on the way into town would make sense. There you go. And then we want one the opposite sides of the road as well. That's just normally what you find. And then we will try and keep to the left-hand side of the road driving. I'm sure I've already messed that up somewhere. Thinking about it now while I was putting the bus routes in last time, I'm not sure if I stuck to the left-hand side. I'm just so used to doing my series with driving on the right that now it's almost alien for me to do it any other way. So we've got electric tram track here. So we upgraded it to tram track last time, but not electric. Okay, so there we go. We've got electricity going all around the town there. This comes into the depot. Okay, perfect. And then from here, we want to set up the bus route then, which is going to connect in New Biggin. So the buses will be coming in on the left-hand side here. So the roads are all right-hand side here, so we can't actually drive on the left, can we? I hadn't thought that one through. But we'll stop here just before this junction, and then we'll take a right, and we'll come up to this industrial section at the edge of the map here. We'll have a stop just after here because that is picking up that side of the town. We'll come back around this outside, and then we'll leave town. And then on the way back through Burton here, we'll have a stop just on the way into town. A stop as we come around the outskirts here. Then we'll go into the town there. And then I think we'll come out this way. If we've got that one, a connection there, that for now covers everything we need. We may need to upgrade that. Looks like Burton here spreading down to the south end here. So if we go to put some lines in there now, we're going to want one line starting on at the Burton-on-Trent branch on the right-hand side there, which is perfect. And then we're going to come in. So on the right, we're going to want to stick to this stop first. There around Saltash and back out. Okay, so that's working. But then we want to go to tram. This is Saltash. And this is the Saltash Intercity, really, because it's going over to Burton. But we want to colour that something we can see a little bit better. That blue's perfect. And then we are going to need on there a building for our tram depot. So we'll stick that one where it's at. And what I'm going to do is stick that on the right hand side of the road here. I'm hoping we can sort of keep these and maybe design something around this area that makes it look a bit more of an industrial area. I do need to try and find some more mod assets, really. So now it's a case of, do we go for these wine type Gs or do we go to the C22s? We've got Swiss. I don't think we really need the Swiss ones. They'd be better off used in a more hilly area, I think. So I'm going to go with these wine type Gs. And we've either got a capacity of 10 or 19. I think we'll go for the 10s to start with, just to see how much demand we get for this. Because at the minute, there's... I've just selected new route because I'm talking. But at the moment here, there's no actual... They're not linking up to another town just yet until we connect in this bus route. So we'll stick those on the route there, and it hasn't come up with any issues, so it's happy with the fact that everything can connect. And then for the other line, then we want to come from the Burton branch here. We'll change that colour again. There we go. And we want to leave going this way first. Maybe we need another stop on this side of the road, actually. I think we do. So we just get another bus stop on the outside of town here. Then go back to line 1. So after Broadway, we want to add in a stop on this side of the road. And we want to come up, and we said we were going to go anti-clockwise around the town here. So that's all hooked up nicely. And then on the way back to Burton, we want to stop at Grove Road again. And then we want to stop at Queens Road. And that's separated the line out exactly how we wanted it. That's going to be RP for our passenger. And this is the... it's double G, isn't it? I'll put New Big / Burton Intercity. That makes sense to me. And then we need some vehicles on there. And for those, I think we're going to go for these Martinis because we haven't seen these yet. 19 miles per hour. 1906 Swiss Post procured the first 3 post buses. All Swiss bus manufacturers of this time were considered. A bus from Berner, one of Sauer, and this one from Martini. Ah, that's interesting. So we'll get these. So these do 19 miles per hour, but they only have a capacity of 4. So it may be something that we shortly update anyway, this. But I think realistically we're going to need at least 4 here, aren't we? Maybe 5. But we're going to need to borrow some more money first. So let's just get these in to get things up and running. So it's a New Big Burton and Intercity. We'll hit fast track. We'll have a look at both of these, I think. So we'll have a look at this tram that's going the other way first. I do like these. I really like these in the Only Tram series as well. Just because it's the first, and to be fair, one of the only mods I've seen with some kind of advertising on the outside. Which I could imagine you would have always seen. Even back in the day when these first came out, you could imagine like the local businesses wanting to advertise on them. But these are cool. We've got, as usual, we've got the Fat Controller up front. Controlling everything, as he always does. And then let's have a look at these Martinis. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? It does look very similar to the Orion we saw in the last episode, actually. With the ones with the steps folding down out of the back. But I'm just going to have to double check with myself, actually. It isn't one we've already used. It isn't, no. It was definitely the Orion we used in Up and Amersham on both routes there. But this is pretty cool. You can even see the little handle on the front here, the wind-up handle. He's got his little fly protection screen on the front. It looks like that window's just open at the minute. A little mesh window. Well, that's definitely pretty cool there. So hopefully now we should start to see some passenger numbers building up if we let that run on again. Because now these guys can all interlink with each other. And then I'm just looking at the time now, and we're currently sat on just coming up to sort of the 20-minute mark, and I think we've got time to connect this in to the rest of the system. So I think you're going to get a 2-for-1 in this one. And what I really want to do is to get this connected in, as I want to get our first boat route in as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go onto the main page here, and we want a passenger harbour. We'll start off small, but what we will do is try and connect in down here somewhere. If I can connect to these bus stops here, the tram stops even, I believe that's connected to the road. This guy is connected in to the port here, which means we can now add another port up at this end, and if we can get this nicely connected up to where the train station is, it'll connect us to all of that. It's got another autosave coming. There we go. So if we can put that there, and then if we can get a road, and we'll go for a town road here, because why not? We're only using buses We are only using buses in the town of Gorleston, aren't we? We are, yes. And then all I want to do is hook this in at... We don't want tram track though. We want a new road with no tram track. And from here where it branches out, I mean for now we can just probably hook into here. And that's not actually an issue, just because it doesn't connect in, which isn't ideal, which means we are going to need to run a bus up to here. But even if it is just a little shuttle service, and we just have, or even a more town version of a bus stop just there, and then we need one where they will be coming out of the train station, so we'll put that across the road there. We'll have a new line, just a bus up there. I mean, I could have added it into the town route, but it's bringing those people out even more, I think, then. We want road passenger, and this is Gorleston ferry transfer. That makes sense to me. I'll put the vehicle on now just so it kicks it in. And we've just actually got a new vehicle. 8 passengers, 25 mile an hour. I tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to put 2 of these on this line here. 2 of the Martinis that we've just seen. And I'm going to go back down. I'm going to upgrade these buses on the new big and intercity to those new. And these Gagano C40s go at 25 miles an hour. So instead of 90, so we're 6 mile an hour up. Instead of carrying 4, we're carrying 8. So that's actually quite a significant increase for them. We've got British open plank wagons coming through now. Unfortunately, we won't be using those in this series because they don't carry passengers. And I want to replace these with these Gaganos. Let's have a good look at these as well. Oh, these look cool, how the people are sat on top. Now, there is a mod, guys, that you can get that, I apologise now, I can't remember the person's name who suggested this, but there's a realistic passenger numbers mod type of thing where it will increase the number of passengers in this vehicle as if it was to fill every seat. So you can see at the minute this guy's full with 8 passengers, but there's plenty of empty seats. So it would change the passenger capacity of this vehicle to maybe, I don't know, 15 or 20. Now, this guy's currently going at 12 miles per hour. And I don't know why. His top speed is 25 miles per hour. Is there a reason why? It looks like that road was limiting him. Is there a limit? Ah, it's 12 mile an hour on that road. So if we upgrade that there, that should fix that problem. There's always something trying to catch you out in this game. Okay, so now we've got the ferry link set up there. And we've got the connection down at this end. So what we need now is a depot for the ships, which is a shipyard. We'll put this down here. Or actually, if we put it... The ships can fit under this bridge. If we put it down towards this rocky area down here, that looks like it would make a bit more sense to me. Somewhere near the edge of the map. I'm just trying to avoid it doing something too crazy to the terrain, which it looks like it really wants to do. That looks much better on this side of the river. So we'll stick that there. Then what have we got at the minute in terms of passenger boats? So we've got the Klondike. Oh, that looks like a good one. 3.8 million per train though. Oof. There's a lot coming through now, a lot of new trains. I think we better turn the dates down so we're not missing a lot of these. Right, so do we want to go Frontenac carries 85 people. 110 might be overkill at the minute. But we do I do need to remember that we only actually have small. We only actually have a small port. So if we go small past, so it's a Frontenac or a Rigi. I think we'll go with a Frontenac. Just to future-proof us, and because I like the Frontenac. So we want to go from Saltash just up to Gorleston. And we want to call that, or I suppose we'll go SP for sea passenger. And then we want to go Saltash to Gorleston. We'll change the colour of that to something easily seen on the water. Like the yellow. Perfect. And now let's have a look at this Frontenac. There's something really cool about a paddle wheel boat, isn't there? I can't be the only one that thinks that. And it looks like the Fat Controller's changed his top hat for a captain's hat. We've got the little lifeboats going, the big paddle wheels, the nodding donkey of the steam engine by the look of it, and of course the big stack. It'll just squeeze under the bridge here. Boats are really underappreciated in this game, I feel. I do really like them. Now, instantly we've got an issue here. We've got 43 passengers waiting on the outskirts of Saltash, and I'm guessing because this tram's filling up by the time it gets to here. We fast forward this. He's already got 5. He's stopping there for quite a while by the look of it. But he's going to come around now and he's only going to pick another 5 of these 40 up, and the next tram is still a fair way off. So we're not got enough money to duplicate all 3 of those, so we'll go for an extra 2. How's the bus route looking? 35 people waiting there. So again, we're going to need some more people here. We're going to have to speculate to accumulate, as they say. We have to spend money to make money. All of these stops, as you can see here, we've got 23 people waiting on each side of the road, and the buses are only carrying 8. At New Biggin up here, we've got 50 people. So it looks like that's all coming in nicely. We've already got the first person waiting for the boat. Can we see them? Ah, there she is. Esme Smith. I'm hoping that that connection is working. It does seem to be, but that will now allow people from all the way up at New Biggin to get all the way to Gorleston and then on to Strood, which should absolutely ramp up all of our systems, if you like. So the Gorleston ferry at the minute, not making any money, but we wouldn't expect it to at this stage because no passengers have been delivered. Saltash ferry, obviously, that is not going to make us any money. The Saltash boat, because it's on its way up, currently empty, I believe it is. I'm not sure whether we're going to get any people that want to come the other way. I'm sure there'll be, 1 or 2 stragglers. And once the first people have been dropped off here and they've been shopping or they've been to work in Gorleston, I'm sure they'll head back. And then another thing I do want to do in this episode, guys, is upgrade this original train we put in. You will notice there's not many people waiting down at Gorlestrood here, but up at the other end, every time I seem to see it, by the time the train gets there, we seem to have a lot of people waiting for this train. We've got another 4 people getting off there. We're already over what we need. And this train's got another 5 coming in. And this train just seems to really struggle. If I put it in normal mode, the top speed of this train's 60. And it's at this point now, it's at 47. It's taken ages to get up here. But one of the final comments I want to address from the video was from Mr. Blackie, and he said that when he saw the thumbnail for the other video with the picture of the Caledonian train on, all he could think about was Thomas the Tank Engine, and I fully see it. And I know there's others out there as well that have said the same thing, and so I thought, why don't we lean into that for a bit of fun? We've got Thomas on the line up here in the hills, and if we're going to make an upgrade, why don't we bring another one of the team in? We've got the Fat Controller driving absolutely everything anyway. So I think if we go and have a look at an upgrade for this train, and it's probably going to be another loan, but if we look at what we could get, so at the minute we can only carry 32, and even though the train will do 60 miles per hour, it will struggle to pull any more carriages. And we've got this Midland Railway, that's 50 mile an hour. But the power and tractive effort, we've got 400 power and 56 tractive effort. So we are, by way and a means, quite a bit more on power there with that one, and that only goes 50 miles an hour. Or then we've got the Midland Railway 422 spinner. Reprise the single in 18 nights, culminating this glorious class of 422 singles. 75 mile per hour, but the power actually isn't a great deal better. Something like what we've got here, Greyhound. I'm just sort of looking at the price as well, I guess it's 2.85 million. I think we're going to keep it low at the minute. I think we're going to go for this Midland 48. The Midland Railway 483 class. Let's see what we've got to say about it. The Midland Railway 483, 440 locomotive designed by Samuel W. Johnson, built for suburban passenger services. This design formed the basis for the later LMS Class 2P. There are no survivors of the class in preservation, all were scrapped. That's a shame. But let's have a go at this and see what we get from it. So 50 miles per hour is the limit of the train. So these guys here, generic British six-wheel, 10 different variants, 52, so that does the job for us. And we're going to go for a red train, so we'll stick a generic front brake carriage on, I reckon. Well, these guys can do 60, but they can carry 8 passengers. What's the weight difference there? 10 tons, 8 tons. I think we go for the 8 here, actually. And as long as we're carrying, I want to take this up to about 45, the capacity. So if we go for a six-wheel here with a front brake, we'll go for a first class then. That takes up to 14. Few third class. We're into the mediocre now. And then, do we have a brake carriage? Or we'll go for a rear brake at the back. That takes up to a capacity of 49, and we're still in mediocre there, but we need 2.4 million for that. Let's do it. I want to instantly repay that money before we start losing it. And then let's have a look. So now we've got Thomas on the team from the last episode, but we've also just brought James in. We've got this Midland Railway. This, guys, I like the fact that it hasn't got the really garish, really bright headlight on as well. That looks pretty cool to me. Now, I've just noticed on this one, front brake and the rear brake carriages have got this little raised roof. I'm not sure whether that means anything, because there is still people just sat underneath, but it is just a little skylight by the look of it. There you go, guys. Welcome James to the team. It looks like next we're going to have to look for maybe a Percy or a Henry to bring to the team in the next episode. But that is where I'm going to leave it for today's episode, guys. We are very rapidly running out of time. But I want to thank you all for joining me again. As always, if you've got any tips or suggestions that we can bring into the next one, please do let me know. Thanks again for all your comments in the last video. It does look like at the minute that only 30% of you guys watching the video are subscribed, so please do hit that subscribe button if you're getting some entertainment from the channel. As soon as we get to that 1,000 mark, it does enable me to start earning a tiny bit of money, get that trickling in, helps me to upgrade my PC and hopefully start doing some of the bigger maps for you on a bigger scale. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you all in the next episode.